But listen, the reason that I tell you about how the left approaches this issue is because I don't think anyone else is. I don't think any of the conservative blue check influencers are giving you an honest assessment about what is about to happen. And I think the reason for that is that conservatives don't do anything. And so they make the assumption that the other side isn't going to do anything either. And that is not true. My personal position on abortion does not matter in any way, shape, or form. I actually don't give a flying flip, personally, if Roe is repealed. I do not care. On a personal level, I do not care. The only thing that I care about is the implication of that and what that means for the rest of us and every other battle we are waging at this time. And my current assessment of this situation is that this decision and this leak is catastrophic to every other battle that we are fighting. Catastrophic. That's not an exaggeration. Every single walkaway Democrat, legitimate walkaway Democrats, because a lot of people on the internet lie. Spoiler alert, people on the internet lie, like all the time, every day. And a lot of people will say, I left the left and I am a very, very, very pro-life and I just can't imagine changing. Like, I'm sorry. If you are an extremely pro-life person, the chances that you were ever legitimately on the left is like slim to none. You can tell I have gotten very, very, very good at telling who is a conservative and who is a leftist, who is a former leftist, who is a progressive, who is a far right conservative, who is a libertarian. Every single one of these groups uses language in a very specific way that if you're paying attention to the language they use and you're paying attention to the actions that they take, you can tell what camp they fit in. And I will tell you that every legitimate walkaway Democrat, a woman who was a Democrat and got fed up with the left's bullshit over the last 2 years and left. Every single one of those that I've talked to in the last 48 hours, and I know a lot of these women, every single one of them has said never again for Republicans. Never again. They might not vote for Democrats, but they're sure as shit not voting for Republicans. They're just not going to vote for either. I cannot tell you how many people I've talked to that were moving steadily over to the right over the past couple years that, again, don't buy into the left's insanity, but never got fully conservative. I cannot tell you how many of those people have told me, fuck the Republicans, I'm voting libertarian from now on. Now, that's actually good for me. That's actually good for me. Because I'm a libertarian and I want more people to vote libertarians, and the libertarians are going to be dramatically getting their shit together at the end of the month in the national convention. There's going to be a completely new leadership in the Libertarian Party. And so I don't mind that this is sending more people to the libertarians. I actually think that this is best case scenario. Brian says, guess me, please. Brian, I'm not sure what that's in reference to. Let me know in chat what that's in reference to. So when I'm talking to you guys about what the left is going to do and how the left is going to react to this, I'm telling you the things that you need to hear in order to prepare so that you can actually defeat them in some way. And for some reason, conservatives don't want this information. They don't care. And they just dismiss it by saying, you're a baby killer, you're an abortionist, you're a leftist, you're never a conservative. Okay. Because what conservatives do not understand about this position and why so many of them seem to think that this is going to be a calm, rational conversation about states, it is ironic, isn't it? It's ironic that conservatives will, on one hand, say, these are our morals and our ethics, and we will not sacrifice them for anything. They will, on one hand, do that. And on the other hand, they will completely ignore that for the left, for women on the left, choice, not abortion, choice is a religion. It is a religion. It is not a simple position. It is not a preference. It is a religion. And it's not about being pro-abortion. Of course, there are people that are crazy pro-abortion, and those people are psychotic. Those people are psychotic. People who use abortion as birth control are psychotic. People who shout their abortion in front of the Supreme Court, they're psychotic. They give everyone else a bad name. But for most people who are pro-choice, it is not about abortion. It is about choice. And the choice is the religion. Choice is just as much a religion for people on the left on this issue as abortion is for those crazy people that you see shouting their abortion and wearing t-shirts that said, "I had an abortion," and bragging about it. It is just as much of a religion. This is what the right doesn't understand. The left believes in this just as much, if not more, than any single value that you have. And that is why they are about to throw down in the most absurd way that you have ever experienced in your lifetime. They will defend this to their dying breath. You thought that UC Berkeley by any means necessary was bad? Oh, just you wait. That's about to go national. We just saw rioting last night. That's about to go national for months. For months. That's what's coming, guys. Because it is a religion. And see, guys, this is the perfect example of someone who's going to get blocked, because I've never seen Paige on my channel before. People who are regulars on my channel know that I know who's in my chat. I pay attention. So if someone like Paige is coming in and going, "You are such a drama queen. You aren't telling me what I want to hear. Why don't you just go listen to the Daily Wire page? Goodbye." Goodbye. Because I don't have time for people like Paige. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. If you guys don't want to understand the perspective of the left, I don't know why you're watching this channel. We talk about this a lot. We talk about this at almost every stream. If you don't want to understand the position of the left and what you need to know, then why are you on this channel in the first place? Get the fuck out. You're not wanted here. Go away. See, I'm not like other content creators. I will call my audience. And I'm not pandering to this bullshit. Joseph Jonathan says, when authoritarians exist, people lose every time. That's exactly right. What camp do you fall in? I'm going to say politically homeless. I think that you probably go back and forth, depending. So when I tell you guys that you're about to experience a ship show of epic proportion, I'm not projecting what I want to happen. I'm projecting what will happen. And you can listen to it or not. And many people on the right are choosing not to listen to it. And that's their choice. And they will suffer the consequences of what's coming because they're completely unprepared. Look, what did we see yesterday when we watched MSNBC? For those who missed the stream yesterday, we watched about an hour and a half of MSNBC yesterday, just watching the reaction to this. And we might even turn on MSNBC again today. We're going to have to see how this goes. Yeah, see, I was right about Brian. I knew it. I knew it. And what did we see on MSNBC yesterday? Yesterday, we saw that the Democrats already have propaganda prepared for this. Well, yes, we also did see a very angry Don King impersonator. God, that guy was psychotic. Oh my God, this is why we watch MSNBC. MSNBC has all like the best people watching. CNN's pretty good. But MSNBC is better for cringe. Um, what did we see yesterday on MSNBC? The Democrats literally already have propaganda filmed. And the reason that they have all that, they already have it ready to go, is because they started preparing to fight back against this when this case was heard in the Supreme Court. This is the difference between the left and the right. Everyone saw the writing on the wall the moment that this case was heard in the Supreme Court. Everyone knew what was going to happen. It was not even like the right was already celebrating as soon as the case was heard because they were pretty sure they were going to get the result they wanted. And the left knew that too. And then both sides just forgot and they said we're going to wait for the decision this year. Well, what did the left do between when the case was heard in the Supreme Court and now? They prepared their propaganda to fight back against this decision. They started organizing to fight back against this decision. They have been using the intervening months since this case was heard in the Supreme Court to prepare they were clipping stuff from the 70s regarding Roe v. Wade. They investigated every statement that one of those conservative justices has ever made about Roe v. Wade. They haven't even begun to roll out the propaganda that they have yet. They prepared. They did their homework. Where was the right? Why wasn't the right ready to go with their own propaganda campaign? I'm serious. Why isn't the right? The right was celebrating when this case was heard in the Supreme Court. The right was saying, we're going to win. We're going to win. We're finally going to win. We're finally going to repeal Roe. Where's their propaganda? Because they've had months to put this together and they have done nothing. The left has. That's reality. That's reality. And that is why someone needs to tell the right the truth about what is going on and what you guys need to know, because I think you're going to lose. And I not only think you're going to lose this case, I think you're going to lose on abortion. I think that's going to get codified into federal law and it will have actually changed nothing. I not only think that this means that you're going to lose on this, I think this means you're going to lose every other battle. And normally I wouldn't really care, except that I happen to be involved in some of those battles. Except that I happen to have dedicated the last 2 years of my life to fighting back against woke insanity, particularly in schools. And now this threatens to derail every bit of work that I've done for the last 2 years. Every bit of sacrifice that I've made. Every bit of sacrifice that everyone's made. This threatens to derail everything. Have you guys heard any talk of Disney in the last 2 days? Is anyone talking about Disney in the last 2 days? No. Disney? Gone. So if I'm being harsh with you and I'm telling you that this has derailed everything, I'm not just doing it because I'm a baby-killing abortionist. I'm doing it because it is what you need to hear. Because you are being lied to by your influencers about what the implications of this are. And do you know how I know that your influencers don't even believe this? Do you know how I know that your influencers don't even believe that this is a good thing? You knew exactly who you were getting in bed with and what they wanted when you aligned with the right. Well, goodbye. I haven't, here's the thing. Did you guys miss the memo that I left the right over a year ago? Pretty much like a year and a half ago? Did you guys miss that memo? I aligned with you only for the 2020 election. Then you served no further purpose for me. I haven't been on the right in over a year. Congratulations. Tell me you don't watch my channel without telling me you don't watch my channel. Goodbye. Brian, I'd be a full-blown libertarian if not for their stance on taxes. Disney just had an exec set down. What, Brian, why do you like paying taxes? Disney did have an exec step down, the communications executive, but that happened before the Roe thing. Brian, why do you like paying taxes? Like, the libertarian position on taxes is, we don't we don't we don't like them. Yeah, Ty, they're still fucking calling me a conservative. It's just like, it's mind-boggling to me. Anyone who watches me knows I'm not on the right. Roe versus Wade will suck all the air out of the room for the rest of the year. That's exactly right. That's exactly right. And let me show you how exactly I know. And I promise we're going to get into the stream in a second. I just want to do a little preamble. Let me show you how I know that conservatives are not actually serious about this issue. Because here's the thing, guys. Here is a general lesson. This is a general life lesson for everyone. Never, ever, 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 ever listen to people's words. People will whisper sweet nothings in your ear all day. They'll tell you exactly what they think you want to hear that make you the most happy or to make you the most compliant. And then they will go off and do whatever they want to do. Here is how I know that Republican leaders are not at all happy about what's going on. Here is how I know Republican leaders behind the scenes know how much this is going to fuck up. Because they aren't celebrating. Look at their actions. Don't look at their words. Look at their actions. They are not celebrating. Sunny says, I like that you are not on anyone's side. Don't let people's own biases derail you. I followed you because you had the heart to stand out. Thank you, Sunny. I really appreciate that. I really do. But look at their actions. Let me just give you guys an example of what I'm talking about. If the right thought the Roe decision was a win, they would be planning massive pro-life celebration rallies right now all over the place. Why isn't Trump, who nominated those 3 justices that you could argue are responsible for this, why isn't Trump planning a series of Roe is repealed? Roe is repealed. Why isn't he planning a series of those rallies all over the country right now to celebrate his epic victory, the thing that he was nominated for, the thing that he was elected to do, and they just won it, even though it's not finalized. They just won. Why aren't those rallies being planned right now? If the right is so concerned that the left was going to pressure SCOTUS into changing the ruling before it's final, then why isn't the right showing up and rallying and showing SCOTUS how much support they have? Because here's the thing, people are saying that the left leaked this to pressure the justices to change their mind before the decision is official. That's the line, right? The left leaked this because they want to pressure the justices to change before it's finalized. Okay, well, let's just pretend that that's true for a second. I don't actually think that's true. I don't think that's why they leaked it. I think they leaked it because they knew it would result in a win for the left either way. I think that's why they leaked it. But this is the line that we're going with. It was leaked so that the left could pressure SCOTUS into changing their minds. If that's true, then why isn't the right throwing a massive rally and a massive protest in Washington, D.C. right now? Why isn't every pro-life leader planning rallies in D.C. outside of the Supreme Court right now to illustrate to those justices how much support they have so that the left can't be allowed to intimidate them? Why isn't the March for Life doing something to celebrate this big thing that they've been doing rallies and protests for years and years and years? This is their one job. Why aren't they doing it? Why aren't they doing it? If the right was really concerned that leftist protests outside the Supreme Court would sway the Supreme Court decision, and this is the most important issue that has ever been in the history of issues, then why aren't they planning their own protests in order to make absolutely sure that this decision holds and is finalized? They aren't doing it because they know this is a loss. They aren't doing it because they know, dude, do you guys have any idea how much fundraising money organizations like March for Life are going to lose out on once Roe is repealed? The right never really wanted to solve this problem. They knew that if they did, it would open up an entire can of worms that they aren't prepared for. This is a classic example of the dog that chases the car, catches the car, and doesn't know what to fucking do with it once he catches it. Or the dog that chases the squirrel, finally gets the squirrel by the tail, doesn't know what to do with it when he caught it because he didn't think he would ever catch it. He was just chasing to run. This is what's going on right now. The right is not celebrating this because they know it's not a win for them. It is a loss. It is a loss. You can always tell how people really feel by looking at their actions and not their words. And I'm the only one that's gonna tell you this. You know none of your conservative influencers are telling you this. You know that most of the grifters on YouTube aren't smart enough to even think of this, let's be honest, because they're mostly 20-somethings that, just think it's fun to be an influencer on the internet. How many fundraising dollars would right-leaning causes lose if Roe actually was repealed? I'm not actually convinced they want Roe to be repealed. If they're not fighting in every way that they can to make sure that the draft that was released is the final decision, and they are not, because if they were doing everything they could, Donald Trump would be holding a rally outside of the Supreme Court to fucking day. Or at least there would be something announced. I think Tim Pool said this. He said that the right is fine with abortion only being illegal in red states, but the left wants it to be legal everywhere. The right is half-assing this, where the left is going whole hog. The left wants everything. The right's like, we'll just take our little piece of the pie right over here and just leave us alone and just don't take our piece of the. We just want this one little sliver of the pie. Just don't hurt us. And the left is like, fuck you. We're taking the whole fucking pie. If the right really wanted to win, they would act like they really wanted to win. They don't really want to win because they know that if they win, they lose. And the reason that the left leaked this decision, and I do not believe that this was done by one rogue clerk at the Supreme Court. The reason that the left coordinated to leak this decision is because they knew that this is the thing that ends all future fights. They knew that this is the nuclear bomb that will activate the left, not only on this issue, but on every other issue.